The Punjabi community of Metro Vancouver is amongst the oldest in the Lower Mainland. The first Punjabis to come here were soldiers of the British Indian Army on tour of the Commonwealth at the time of Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee. Now, 125 years later, over 250,000 Indo-Canadians make Surrey their home, the majority of whom are Punjabis. As a community historian, when I found out about the Museum of Surrey curating an exhibit about Punjabis, I was delighted to join the advisory committee. The museum made it clear that being Punjabi, unfolding the Surrey story, was to be about the community and was to be developed by the community themselves, which is tremendously important at this time when we understand that there is a dire lack of diverse voices in the heritage sector and in the museum world in general. Being Punjabi, unfolding the Surrey story, was presented in Punjabi and English and shared Punjabi voices using written words, recordings, video, objects, art and images. The exhibit featured over 140 objects, 90% of which came from the community. No object was refused. A few objects were specially loaned, such as historic documents from the Simon Fraser University Library and a brick from the Museum of Vancouver. The brick was thrown by Sikhs aboard the Komagata Maru, which was anchored in Vancouver Harbour in the summer of 1914. They were protesting anti-Asian immigration policies. You must remember, South Asians were British citizens at the time, as were all Canadians. The exhibit also featured 14 original video interviews and 8 oral histories from Punjabi pioneers. 7 artworks and over 20 books by Punjabi artists and authors were presented from Surrey, and 16 text panels were written by community writers.
Hi, I'm Colleen Sharpe. I'm Curator of Exhibits here at the Museum of Surrey. The Being Punjabi, Unfolding the Surrey Story exhibit was the culmination of a 3-year journey where we interacted with community members, we did a broad media campaign, community engagement sessions, and lots of word of mouth and talking to people. As a result, the exhibit featured hundreds of stories of the Punjabis of Surrey. It was very important to the Museum of Surrey that we engage the community and not only allow them to tell their story, but let them tell the story in their own voice directly. In a way, I became more of a facilitator than a curator. We invited community members to offer their objects in the exhibit. The community members defined what was important to them. Like a magical giant show and tell, the exhibit showed whatever community members told us they wanted to show and tell us about. In that way, we did not reject any objects that were offered to us for exhibit, and we showed over 140 objects in the exhibit that were from community members. I would love to show you some of those objects right now, because as a result of the exhibit, some of those objects were donated to the permanent Surrey Heritage Collection. Let's go behind the scenes and meet Kristen Hardy, the Curator of Collections, who will show us some of the wonderful objects that were part of this exhibit. What we're looking at is a hand-stitched dress made by a female artisan in Pakistan. A lot of people don't realize that Punjabis are people from both India and Pakistan and are Sikh, Muslim, Christian, and many other religions. This child's outfit is called a shalwar kameez. It was worn at special occasions by 9-year-old Aisha Zulkwar. The bangles are also worn with the outfit, and Aisha's parents have been volunteers at the Museum of Surrey. 2 other items from the exhibit are these duris, woven by Gurmeet Khosa and Amarjeet Boparai. A duri is a type of rug that is used for floor coverings or bedding. These weavings are truly works of art, and they were displayed in the exhibit as artworks. Gurmeet Khosa made this duri at the age of 16. We hope you enjoyed this glimpse into the exhibit Being Punjabi, Unfolding the Surrey Story. The exhibit is absolutely a tribute to community members who came forward to share their stories and tell us about what it means to be Punjabi in Surrey, past, present, and future. I find the exhibit to be very important because it's allowing us to tell community stories, and those community stories are about all people in Surrey. If you're interested in being part of an exhibit at the Museum of Surrey, we have a series called Community Treasures. We host 3 exhibits in this series a year, and everyone is invited to submit a proposal and be part of it. If you're interested in being part of a Community Treasures exhibit, please visit us at surrey.ca/museum. I hope I'll be welcoming your exhibit soon.